good.
Okay, this different. Why?
It ain't too hard to try. I done shed so many tears, it's getting hard to cry. I done thumbed through so much money, it's down there hard to lie. My heart too big to hide. Sad to say it's getting colder. Gave what I can give, it's good to say I'm getting older. No, I don't like to be alone, but you can leave. I know the time, screaming it ain't over till it's over. But it's over now, you heard it loud for me. I be in the post, not the type to post. You the type to post that I did you wrong. I'd be wrong if I switched coast. I just went goals, money long, could've went lost. Ain't got it figured out yet, I'm just paying my bills. I think this how it's supposed to be, I don't even know where I live. Can't let you close to me, my guard up, you know how that is. Steady running off of fumes, and Lord know how I get. Screaming up and down the cup, and I don't know if I quit. I say, they say you live and you learn. Okay, you spend on folks' money and put away what you earn. If you load that fully out, people better know that he burn. These youngins living real life, it ain't that hard to die, you know. Hey, it ain't too hard to try. I shed so many tears, it's getting hard to cry. I done thumbed through so much money, it's down there hard to lie. My heart too big to hide. It's sad to say it's getting colder. Gave what I can give, scared to say I'm getting older. No, I don't like to be alone, but you can leave. Know the type, screaming it ain't over till it's over. But it's over now, you heard it loud from me.
Love, look what it made me become. I let you get too close, just to wake up alone. I know you think you could run, you're scared to believe I'm the one, but I just can't let you go.
Ayy, she said she had an evil side, I ain't believe her. Peeled away my past, it feel my problems getting deeper. Watch them tear me down and you ain't come and help me neither. Sat outside they shit with Lil D3 inside the Beamer. I'm my baby brother keeper, spinning till I'm dizzy. Woke up on my sleep and you weren't there, that's when it hit me. Screaming long little bro, I pull my green and start to miss him. I said whoever bring me back his head, then I got 50. Hey, this gangsta life ain't pretty, but for you I watch it burn. Ain't had no help, I had to sit and wait my turn. Don't question life, cause you gon' live and you gon' learn. I'm doing good now, everybody play concerned. Dump my ashes in the urn, I see murder while I'm sleeping. I'm in it deep, don't wanna hear no nigga preaching. I had to even on my grass and cut the leeches. Don't ask me why I live this way, we all got reasons. Home ends, free the heathens, grip the yeek, I'm smelling blood. How you gon' snake me in my face and say it's love? I miss the days when we was kids and having fun. But now we grown, I'm pulling skids and toting guns. Home crib, I'm one and ones, foot it up, ain't need a hand. That's not a skid if you up blinking, mission.
made it, but I'm just chillin' at my destination with that big 4-5, patiently waiting. And I'ma kill you, no hesitation. Nigga, I gotta get it, I'm with it, chasing money, long as I'm existing. Niggas know I'm on and I'm ballin' like I'm mellow. I'm just a young nigga from the ghetto. I'm just a nigga from the ghetto, but now I'm in the game and I'm ballin' like I'm mellow. Switch. I'm just a nigga from the ghetto, but now I'm in the game and I'm ballin' like I'm mellow. Switch. I'm just a nigga from the ghetto, but now I'm in the game and I'm ballin' like I'm mellow. Switch. I'm just a nigga from the ghetto, but now I'm in the game and I'm ballin' like I'm mellow.
Yo, what's the deal, chat? What's the deal? Is that work?
Yeah, that's just like work.
Lame as fuck. Wait, don't you work like kids? Anyways, alright, chat. What I got for y'all today is, hey, look, it just came across my YouTube earlier. You feel me? Two videos that I found hilarious. I didn't watch both of them through. This one's not hilarious. I just found it was a good matchup. It's Ichigo versus Yusuke. If you don't know Yusuke, it's from Yu Yu Hakusho. I've seen this like twice. I watched it all the way through twice. My nigga Yusuke is not no hoe. But I'm about to see how this fares up. Pure hands versus a sword. You feel? I get it though. I do get it. So we gonna jump into it. Damn, this shit is low.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
In a way, yeah.
Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
He is dead. That's how he was
Tell
even
me,
able to do
Boomstick,
anything what he do.
what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to
Oh yeah,
purify
got
such
another anime
violent
fanatic
hollows
right here.
and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul
You gotta
Society.
get Brother Q in
Works
there.
great till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy, called Ryoku, and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit ore is so strong, it can stun-lock foes, crushing him under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime, Chad, and Uryu, plus Rukia. It was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
Same.
While
Wait for it
balancing
tonight, chat.
responsibilities at school, of
Be on
course. GPA comes first,
Ghostbusters,
and
most
maybe a round
likely.
or two
Yeah,
of
I'm
pick.
thinking about it. It
Wouldn't
might be
be possible
Ghostbusters.
without
I'm
his
not 100%
Shinigami
sure.
blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a super-powered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword!
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double Ghost Sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the Sword Beam to end all Sword Beams, Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the biggest hollows down to size.
That's how you
Ichigo
pronounce that
was
shit?
ridiculously strong, even for
Couldn't do it to save my life.
Shockwaves and parries spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower than light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master. Bankai!
In Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole freaking Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimmjow. He was getting
Hey, Grimmjow was a crazy fight. I want to react to that. I ain't gonna lie, chat. We might react to that one. The Grimmjow fight, he just horrified
character
me.
energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger, Aizen stuffed Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song. Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained.
I'm saying Aizen needs to be studied.
Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
That nigga
Still,
aura far more than
Ichigo
Piccolo.
needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Fueko Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which brushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yuhaba.
Who planned to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his 2 Zanpakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other Hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break
We still haven't
Yuhaba's
even
fight.
finished Bleach. They still
Finally,
even have
Ichigo
animated
understood
other half of
himself,
1,000 Year Blood
fully
War.
unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within.
crazy.
With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai!
They
If
gonna
you
make sure
thought
he
Ichigo
lasts
was
on.
strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. They're dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yuhaba, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yuhaba could nuke all 3 realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yuhabak was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done power enough.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Grand Ray Serum.
Making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai. A power so great, even Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on
You know what's
you.
crazy?
Ichigo didn't
Bleach is
even
not
need
on
it.
Crunchyroll.
You're done.
Ichigo was finally
1,000-Year Blood
content,
War is not
and
on
10 years
Crunchyroll.
later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the
Crazy
courage
as
to
fuck,
stand
right?
on the edge
Disney
of life and
Plus.
death, conquer his fears, and walk onward. Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life.
A nigga
However,
Yusuke.
that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands. It don't matter who the ops are, be they women, old folk,
Old
or
super
babies.
sororities.
Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like
This was rated E for everyone.
So surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Trucko claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen.
Yeah,
Death
like
is
we say,
part of the end.
Yusuke's was
Surprisingly,
died.
though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the
My
underworld
favorite
didn't
character
see
was
his
the old
selfless
lady
death
that
coming
trained him.
and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the
Hey, I remember when we first found out who Yusuke's pops was.
So the
That
underworld
shit
surrogate king,
was-
Goenma, offered Yusuke an alternative.
That
He
nigga
could
was
return to
OP.
life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation, and told Satan Jr. to stop it. He was never really good for anything, and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his rival Kuwabara would shed manly tears. Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Goenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move
That was
that
my
could
favorite
blast
character
anyone
right
to
there.
smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun. At first, Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more versatile than it
Check
appears.
that out.
Yusuke can bounce it off
got
surfaces
one
for
right
sneak
here for
attacks,
us.
propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a spirit shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a spirit punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the spirit wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and
That's
cunning in battle.
factual.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart, and his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed to survive and protect his loved ones, so he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
And for those in
According to
YouTube,
Genkai,
for my
Yusuke could
YouTube
destroy the
community,
planet too, if he
you
really
feel me?
wanted.
Don't worry,
And
this
even
of course,
A-class
chat.
like
This is
King
gonna make
Enma
me
have shaken
dab
both the
with this
demon
YouTube.
and human world.
But
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past, he
in
fought
the description,
netherworld
I mean,
king
in the
Yakumo,
comments
who
below,
could
let me
eradicate the
know
entire
what
human
animes y'all
world
want me to
and
react to,
remake
what
the
fights y'all want me
But
to
Yusuke's
react
power
to,
surpassed
and
both
we
of
gonna
them,
get
to
that
the
shit
point where he
going, okay?
overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And
There's a
keep
lot of
in
different
mind,
things I wanna
Yusuke was
react to,
still
like,
only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long.
Like, in my
Turns
honest
out,
opinion,
Yusuke
like
was a demon himself.
Fog Hill and Seven,
Yusuke is the descendant
Seven,
of an ancient
shit
and
like that.
incredibly powerful being.
There's this
one
new
of the
samurai.
strongest in existence.
It's like, I think
Ryzen,
Blue-Eyed Demon
the
or something, I
Demon
forgot.
King.
With his bazooka mark, Yusuke can channelize
Blue-Eyed
his spirit
Samurai.
for a huge power boost.
I'ma react
and
to
a
that.
massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used
Oh,
by
right,
demons.
when he got
like
the,
normal
yeah,
Reiki,
when he
it can be amplified by intense emotions.
inner
Unlike
demon.
normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast sensory past the horizon, putting
Super
Yusuke's
Saiyan
power
4
firmly in
shit.
S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Raisen's influence.
And a
Why you
brand
gotta
spanking
smile
new
like
form of
that?
power. Kinda like Sensui's secret energy, but even
Chad,
better.
y'all just can't
It's
see
so
me.
unprecedented. It doesn't even have a name, but it's golden.
I swear you
glowing.
on some
Strong
Diddy
enough
shit
to
right now.
clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that
He heard
split
my
the
laugh,
heavens
like my
above
laugh a
and
little too
decimated
much.
the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's
Pearl
not all
like
bad, though.
motherfucker.
Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Long has its return been foretold, but now, finally, it is reborn.
The original Death Battle shirt that once dominated
Oh,
the
yeah.
world. Hell yeah, there's no better way to wear a blood spatter on your chest.
We've restored the original shirt with even better materials, and it's available now on deathbattle.gg. That's our website that's also kind of like a Patreon.
There's a bunch of other merch there, like this awesome Mega Goose hoodie. Just don't let the gooses get it.
Website members can also see the
I
entire Death
roll
Battle
up
archive, including
that
episodes
big
that were
beast
banned from
Mac.
YouTube.
And even more behind-the-scenes goodies. Like, did you know our research team
Y'all
wrote
gotta
up a
make
massive
sure.
blog all about the science of Ash versus Yugi? Wait, I lied. They wrote up two.
Click the link below to support the show, look behind the scenes, and get cool merch at deathbattle.gg. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle.
Yeah, my fault, chat. Hold on, chat. They said she should immediately.
It's a demon. That's a hollow.
No doubt about it.
Just in the middle of the street, though. Oh, bumpers!
Spirit gun. Getsuga. Tensho.
Man, I'm saying. Damn, you getting boxed up, Ichigo? Damn. Oh, no, you don't. The hollow.
Hollow. Chump change.
Reckless idiot.
What a bait! Little demon energy got you scared. Nah.
Nah. Oh, they on there.
Getsuga. Yujisho.
Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Bitch.
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together. Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just told me back!
He said, you remember that face palm from earlier?
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner?
Let's do it. Like old times.
On! Cut! Tensa! Sangetsu! Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole! I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same! Screw that!
think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Taguro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tencho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dangai training,
And all those swords, he just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his colleague Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kinda both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So, both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Hueco tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time, pretty close to Yuhabak's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yuhabak was also going to destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yuhabak in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way, but the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final edge. Sorry if things got messy, but that's just how Ichi goes.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Next time on Death Battle.
Next song. Cell.
Subscribe and join us
Cell
to
versus
see more.
Metasonic. Where y'all get this one from? Because they both were created by doctors? Mad sciences? Yeah, you put that out. That shit killing me. Oh, I couldn't breathe for a minute. Alright, chat. This is the last one right here. I was fast forwarding through this bitch to look at it. I saw an ad and shit.
I feel like a...
Shut up, bitch. Yeah, we gonna finish out this one. And call it, then we gonna hop on the game, chat. You feel me? I was only planning to make this a nice little 45-minute desktop stream, you feel me, for the tube. Let's get into it.
A lot of us wanted to be a superhero growing up. Seeing Spider-Man swing off buildings, Batman gliding through the sky, Iron Man having some of the coldest suit-ups in the franchise. Like, who wouldn't want to be a superhero? But that's my child brain talking. I was recently rewatching some movies and not gonna lie, fuck no. If I'm offered 24 hours in their shoes, I'm declining. The type of situations they get put through is ridiculous. Also, go to Discord, link in the description. But I actually want to start with one of my favorites. Goku, or low-key the Z fighters in general, but we're gonna focus on Goku for a sec. Most of the time when I think about Goku, I think of a dude who loves to fight. Always smiling, always happy, surrounded by loved ones. But realistically, his life sucks. Goku himself don't even realize how annoying his life is. First he gets sent to Earth away from his parents because his planet was getting destroyed. Grandpa Gohan, the man who was raising him, treated him as his own son, died getting trampled on by a monster, and Goku finds out years later that he was that monster who trampled him. He didn't know about what happens when a Saiyan with a tail sees a full moon. Once he's seen Vegeta turn into that monster, he said, oh shit, It was me. While fighting for his life, by the way, mid-scuffle, realized he killed his first actual family member. But that wasn't even the worst part about this day. But before we get to that, let me talk to y'all real quick. Usually in my free time, I like to game and whatnot. And I want to tell you how my favorite game just launched the most epic cross. I'm Kevin, and join my clan, the One Piece Not Real, bro. Imagine being at peace for years, kicking it with your son and friends, and then all of a sudden, a nigga in a battle-ready leotard pulls up, claiming to be your brother, tells you to come with him to conquer this planet. Oh, you refuse? I bet I'ma take your son.
What?
And then laughed and got on his face. He had no reason to do that. He is terrified for his life, and he got this
That's
dude
exactly
chuckling
how it
about
went,
working on
though.
his eardrums. Then he flew off with his child saying he'll be back in 24 hours. Went from a chill, peaceful day to the worst day of his life. So him and Piccolo pull up, ultimately they do take him down, but it required Goku to get shot through his fucking chest. So now he's dead, but in the afterlife he's still training, because in a year, 2 more Saiyans are gonna pull up. Imagine dying and still needing to clock into work.
Hey homeowners, if you're thinking about selling, watch this before filling out any other forms, okay?
So Vegeta and Nappa made it to Earth, and Krillin is such an L, man. I just gotta mention that. Vegeta was talking down on Raditz, and he was like, Raditz?
They talking shit about Raditz, the guy who y'all barely won against? The guy who beat y'all ass, beat you and Goku's ass, that Raditz? They talking about him?
Like, damn, bro, we get it. Whose side are you on? Anyways, Yamcha dies. Chaozu tries sacrificing himself, but that shit did nothing. Tien dies.
Crazy.
Piccolo dies. Half the squad got murked in under an hour, and I know he's in his head right now like, damn. Y'all are so ass. Couldn't even get a bottle of water before having to save y'all. And Krillin talking about some, don't worry about your dad, Gohan. Let's head home to a nice, hot, steaming, savory, slow-cooked, patiently simmered, lovingly prepared, deeply seasoned, richly aromatic,
Melt in your mouth, hearty, feeling soul-soothing, body-restoring, stress-melting, fatigue-ending, long-awaited, long-overdue, well-earned, home-cooked, end-of-the-day, finally safe meal.
Wouldn't you like that, Gohan? Really? I gotta smack this nigga, boy. Talking about food at a time like this. 4 of his homeboys died. His best friend out there fighting to save the world, and he ready to go home and kick his feet up. You lazy bitch. You better go in that backyard and hit some jumper jacks, nigga. Act like you doing something. So Goku fights Vegeta, actually wins the first round. But once he turned into a great ape, he got swatted into the mountain. Gets both legs crushed. Damn near got the life squeezed out of him. Tries to have a heartfelt moment with his son. Started stomping him out. Now they do eventually get Vegeta to retreat, but wait, we got a problem. All of our homies are dead. And with Piccolo dead, the Dragon Balls are gone. No need to worry though. We can just go to Planet Namek and use their Dragon Ball. Of course. Why would it ever be that simple? Frieza has his hands on the Dragon Balls while Vegeta is on his way. So after experiencing probably the worst day of his life, he barely gets a break and has to immediately fly out to go to Namek. And when he arrives, he sees Krillin and Gohan beat the fuck up. Gohan's neck broken and all. Imagine if he didn't have senzu beans. So let's fast forward to when he actually fights Frieza. And yeah, his best friend gets obliterated right in front of him. The guy he knew for all his life, gone in an instant. Unlocks Super Saiyan, fights Frieza again, but Frieza was getting his ass beat so bad, he resorted to putting the planet on a timer. So after Goku takes down Frieza, he had nowhere to go. And it was easy to believe he wouldn't make it off the planet.
Nigga was having a bad day.
Luckily, he was able to find a space pod and made it out. Some time goes by, and when Goku finally made it back to Earth, back to his family and friends,
I feel like this part in all of the Boo Saga was the only justifications for Goku, except for Cell games.
I'm talking everybody you love. Gone. Oh, and by the way, you're gonna die way before that. You're gonna die to a heart virus. But good thing for you, I got the cure. So y'all go ahead and start training. I'll be back in 3 years. So not only is he immediately thrown into another main quest, but finds out he's the reason Trunks' entire timeline got wiped out. Dr. Gero built those androids to specifically kill Goku. Android 19 and 20, first thing they do is blow up the city. And with his fight with 19, that heart virus appears. So once again, he is on the sidelines praying that these trash-ass niggas don't get washed. And after Gohan embarrassed Cell to the point where he said, fuck it, I'm taking the Earth out with me, Goku was the only one able to prevent that. Teleported Cell away, sacrificing himself.
I mean, he caused it.
Just for that nigga to come straight back.
Hello.
Now they do beat him for real the second time, but I'd be heated. I sacrificed myself, at least give me the moment. But this is when Goku realized it may be better if he stayed dead. It seems like all the bad things are attracted to him. So to make sure everyone could stay safe, he decided it was best for him to not come back, missing out on the rest of Gohan's childhood, the birthdays he'll never see, the moments he never be there for, having to leave Chi-Chi to raise their son alone, knowing she'd have to be strong without him, never being able to talk with his friends again, knowing this day was the last day they ever stand together. So 7 years go by, 7 years of peace. Goku was given a day past the Earth, a singular day, and it just happens to be the day where he has to go up against a pure demon. Majin Buu, Kid Buu, Super Buu, Evil Buu, Teen Buu, whatever version of Buu you want to talk about, it don't matter. That nigga needed to be erased, he needed to go. But before we get to Buu, he had to deal with Vegeta. He let himself get put under Babidi's control just so he can box Goku, blowing up innocent people, and Goku was like, no, the Vegeta I know wouldn't do something like this.
What?
Are you positive? So they fought for a while until they felt the presence of Majin Buu. Vegeta agreed to chill, but in reality, he slimed him out. Slimed him out just to sacrifice himself for nothing. Seems to be a reoccurring theme. Right after, he turns a whole city into candy and devours them all. Goes to the next city, blows them up. Goes to another city, turns them all into clay, making a new house. And since Goku went Super Saiyan 3, his timer on Earth ran out, so once again, he gotta observe from the sidelines. So then Super Buu proceeds to kill every single person on the planet because he was bored.
Would you feel less nervous about concealed carry if you had $500,000 or more sitting in a rainy day legal fund?
Also killed Chi-Chi because she did some dumb shit like slap the nigga who eradicated all of existence. Nice one. Fast forward, he absorbs Gotenks and Piccolo. Damn. Absorbs Gohan right after. Damn. Goku and Vegeta fuse into Vegito, giving us some hope. Was able to free the ones who got absorbed, but guess what? Super Buu turns into Kid Buu, the original Buu. Not a single word was said. He simply decided to blow up the entire planet. But that wasn't enough for him. He teleports to the afterlife. How the fuck do you teleport to the afterlife and start boxing dead niggas? But after that, they do eventually beat Buu, so yeah. We could talk about Super, but I'm gonna leave that for another video. Now for the next one, Invincible, Mark Grayson. We all know his life is tough. He just got his powers and his first big job is having to deal with an alien invasion. Seeing all these innocent people get murked, tried saving a grandma but just ended up mangling her limbs. They invade again, but this time he gets beat on by this brute. Was sitting there getting pulverized until his pop saved him. And then later on he made a deal with Titan to take down his boss, but little did he know one of the strongest beings in existence was in attendance. Till this day, I don't know how Machine Head just casually hired Battle Beast, like he was just a phone call away. But before having to deal with him, he was getting jumped by the grunts until he knocked him into the sky and his pops is just sitting there watching. He must have came to check on Mark, but then heard Battle Beast and said, fuck no, you gonna have to hold that for a safe return. Then we cut back to Mark, got a little adrenaline rush, took out the grunts, but he was feeling himself a little too much. Humbled immediately, proceeds to get foot to the face, head palmed, picked up and beat straight back down. If I was Mark and I made it out of this, I'd vow to never help a living soul ever again. This day is actually top 2 worst days of his life. So then the Guardians pull up just to also get their ass beat, and then he turns back around to Mark like, please bro,
please leave me alone, please.
Hit him so hard it popped his suit. The only reason they all survived is because he allowed it. He was bored. He had no interest in fighting bums. And the worst thing about Mark's life is his pops, Omni-Man, the strongest man on Earth, a global symbol of hope. Everyone trusted him to keep the world safe, but the truth comes out. He was the one who killed the Guardians of the Globe. Earth wasn't his home, it was an assignment. A Viltrumite sent here to conquer the planet. And the moment Mark refused to help, he was put through hell. Omni-Man made sure to get as many innocent people involved as possible. He didn't give a damn. Made him watch as they crushed every being on this train. And he wasn't just beating his ass. He was beating his ass with style. Put that boy in slow-mo, smacked his body off the ground, flew into the air while telling
Hey,
him
no, run that back. Run that back.
ass.
No,
He
look
was
at this,
beating his
brother.
ass
Look at
with
this.
style. Put that
Come here, bro. Oh my God.
that boy in slow-mo, smacked his body off the ground, flew him into the air while telling him how all these lives mean nothing. Humans are just insects. Then proceeds to play ping pong with his body until he flew him through a cruise ship. Did that just cause he can. He just wanted to hold them. Carnival stocks plummeted. And then he flew him into a mountain, causing an avalanche, killing the entire village. And then finally, the most iconic scene. He quite literally just starts violating him. Till this day, this is still one of the most ferocious ass beatings I've ever witnessed. Doing all this to his son. But even after all that, there's still something worse. Something worse than Battle Beast. Something worse than Omni-Man. I'm sure you all know where I'm going.
I know where you go. Oh.
Amber. And I would talk about season 2 and 3, but I already talked about those on the channel, so y'all go peep. But the next one on the list, Spider-Man. His life sucks. I'd be damned if I'm spending my free time saving the city, and here comes J. Jonah Jameson, spreading nothing but hate on my name. He could have just saved a baby from a burning building, and you hear Jonah on the radio, saved. He dangled an infant 50 feet in the air with no safety net. What? Like Jonah. The baby was on the 13th floor. Should we have taken the stairs? Craziest part is the citizens would hear that shit and believe it. I would have quit the millisecond I heard him on the radio. Yeah, the next time the Sinister Six is in town and you got a 7'9", 500-pound rhinoceros at your doorstep, don't call for Spider-Man. I won't be answering the call. But I don't think Jonah is the worst part. Worst part is, after saving the city 300 times, he comes back home with a rent notice on the floor. All of these heroics and he's broke. Gets thrown through at least 12 walls a day and he still can't catch a break. Exactly why I couldn't be a hero. I started charging people by the minute. If you're injured on a building and I swing you from a hospital and that trip took 5 minutes, I'm expecting $50 for my service. You refuse, I promise I'll swing you back up. Oh, but I thought you were a hero. Aren't you Spider-Man? Nah, I'm the black one.
I'm the black one!
Base 44. Guys, Nina just built an app. Impossible.
One. The black one. And there's so many situations that heroes are put in that if I was put in the same situation, I would have just left. Like at the end of Spider-Man 1 when we had to save MJ and the kids, and Goblin came rushing in trying to impale him, bro. I'm dropping them. I'm sorry. He wouldn't have gotten a chance to get that close. I would have been at the top of the bridge by now. Or later on, when he caught a grenade to the face, I'm calling a timeout. I realized I'm in over my head. I wasn't expecting to be fighting real demons. Or when the Goblin came back in No Way Home putting the beats on Tom. He ate his hits and pushed him out the window. Allowed him to get a barrage of hits off just to laugh in his face, and then proceeded to slam him through the floor. Picked his ass up, busted his back on the ceiling, and then spears him through multiple floors, 5 to be exact. And then he kills Aunt May. Would have been my last night wearing the mask. Never in my life have I seen him get beat like that. But even simple stuff like running out of webs, and that happened multiple times, and each time it was his back taking that hit. I'm taking at least a week break from swinging after that. I can still do my basic heroic deeds, but I'm using public transportation. I'm gonna be too afraid to jump off rooftops. And even later on when he's fighting Doc Ock, out of everyone in the crowd, he just happens to grab my aunt. I bet if Peter was a bank teller, this would never have happened. Being a superhero just gives you negative luck. He was really chilling at a coffee shop and the nigga threw a car at the window. He tells Peter to tell Spider-Man to meet him somewhere. And of course, Peter's gonna say, hey man, I don't know where he's at. Then runs off with MJ like, gosh, again? You got kidnapped the last movie. But I mean, at least he still has his girl, cause you know, Andrew. And every Spider-Man has to go through their best friend wanting to kill him. But out of all three, Tom had it the worst. He had it all, but then lost it all. Had Aunt May, a roof over his head, not worrying about rent, but now she's gone. Had Tony Stark, the father figure in his life, but now he's gone. At the end of No Way Home, a spell was casted that had everyone forget who Peter Parker was. So he lost MJ, Ned, anyone who knew who he was. Oh, and by the way, he's broke. Got an apartment now, but those rent due papers gonna be coming soon. And all the Avengers are either dead, trash, or somewhere in space. Can't ask nobody for help. Spider-Man has it bad, but someone who has it worse, Wolverine. His healing factor alone will suck with how long his lifespan is, but the things he's been through made it 10 times worse. When he was a child, this man walks into his house, popped his dad. He awakens his ability, kills that man, but then he finds out something very important. Turns out his father wasn't actually his father. He is. The guy he just killed was his real dad. First 3 minutes of the movie, by the way. So now it's only him and his brother Victor. Grew up together, fought in like 4 different wars. Even when Victor started tweaking a little bit, Logan still stood by his side. That's until Victor really lost it when he was okay with killing an innocent man. So Logan said, yeah, no, I'm out of here. Went their separate ways. Fast forward to when he found himself a girl, living the good life, until she dies. Got killed by his own brother. Now bent on revenge, he accepts Stryker's proposal and pretty much becoming invincible. Getting metal, adamantium melded to his spine. Anesthesia doesn't work on him, so he's feeling every bit of that. Then he overhears that Stryker was actually planning on erasing his memory, so he runs away. This kind couple was nice enough to take him in, but they died too. Blew up the house at that. Their bodies are ashes. Fast forward again to where you find the island Stryker is stationed at. And guess what? His girl never died. Her job was to keep an eye on him. And you know what her powers are? Tacto hypnosis. She can influence anyone she touches. Can't make this up. He's been going through it the entire movie and we're still not done. A few minutes later, she gets the chance to tell him, oh, I never tricked you. It was real for me too. 5 minutes later, Logan finds her with a bullet hole in her gut. She does die at the end of this, but all of a sudden, he gets shot with adamantium bullets. Caught a bullet to the head twice, erasing his memories. The only hint he has to who he was is the name Logan written on his dog tag. And something similar happened in the X-Men Last Stand movie. Well, kinda. His girl died again. But he was the one who had to kill her because he was the only one able to get close. And this scene scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. I don't remember why either. I don't know if it was because everything was turning to dust or what. Something in this scene just terrified me. But of course, the Logan movie. The best superhero movie of all time. This is when they finally stopped pushing us in a stroller and let us walk on our feet. This is what Wolverine is supposed to feel like. In the other Wolverine movies, he'd stab someone and no blood would be seen. But in this,
but this is where he's feeling the poison.
But even
from
so,
adamantium.
it was depressing. A movie about old man Logan trying to live out his final moments with a sick Charles. The X-Men are gone, mutants are now on the brink of extinction, and the adamantium fused with him that once felt like finding a gold scar is now poisoning his body. I'm pretty sure his original plan was to buy a boat, sail away with Charles, stay with him until the end, and when Charles was gone, use that single adamantium bullet to take himself out. Now, of course, that didn't happen. Instead, he had to watch Charles bleed out, and the one who did it was a clone of himself. Now, if you don't know, Charles is the one who gave Logan a purpose after he lost his memories. So that was kind of like losing his father. So after that, he dedicated the rest of his life to helping Laura, aka his daughter, aka the GOAT. Hey Marvel, I'm still waiting on her movie, by the way. By helping her and her fellow mutant friends escape their captors. But in the process, had this fire ass scene. Like, I can't talk about this movie and not glaze this, bro. Berserk Logan.
That's why he's the GOAT!
Not gonna lie, I got this over Infinity War, Endgame, whatever movie moment you have in your mind. I have this over that. But anyways, this is an elderly man we're talking about. He can take out everyone here except himself. There was truly no way he's winning going against a prime version of himself. Yeah, he was doomed from the start. And it took Laura shooting him with that adamantium bullet to kill him. Man, and this, The first time the entire movie, she calls him dad. Till this day, the scene still gets me. In 2017, my first time seeing this, I'll gladly say I was bawling. Tears running down my face, throat scratching. You would have thought I lost an actual loved one the way I was acting. But yeah, his life sucked. Every good thing was followed by 10 terrible things. He could not catch a break. And honestly, this could really extend to mutants in general. The human race hates mutants with every fiber of their being. A mutant would save their life, but the second they find out what you are, don't touch me, you filthy mutant. Like, shit got crazy over there. They say mutant like it's a slur. They'll hate on Wolverine, but then go and praise the Hulk, the giant green monster. Oh, he's just a superhero. I promise it doesn't make any sense. At first, I thought the X-Men universe was just completely separate from the MCU, like a whole different timeline where people don't like anything that isn't normal, but Deadpool made it seem like everything was connected, so at this point, I don't know. Whatever side of the world the X-Men are on is pure racism. Like, there was a whole war going on, thousands of them in captivity. Humans built machines that adapt to every mutant ability, and honestly, we lost. The mutants lost. Logan had to go back in time to make sure the war never started. And even in the Logan movie, we find out they made a drug that stops the birth of mutants. Like, they did not like them at all. But the next one, we got Bruce Wayne. As a child, he witnessed both his parents get murdered. So he became Batman, putting fear into criminals' hearts to make sure no one else ever went through the same pain. Sounds great, right? But everyone wants to be Batman until it's time for the mandatory Bane beating, until Bane snaps your fucking spine, or just having to deal with the Joker. He's the type of nigga to strap a bomb to a baby's chest and tell you, so Batman, will you save the baby or stop the gas leak in a daycare 100 miles from here? It's like it's all fun and games until he gives you an impossible choice. And not to mention how he barely gets any downtime. At night, he's protecting Gotham, and during the day, he's running one of the biggest companies in the world. All shits and giggles until you're off 40 minutes of sleep. Or how he has to worry about the people he works with getting hurt. Barbara getting paralyzed. Jason Todd getting tortured. Lucius getting blown up if we're talking about the games. Nightwing dying to a fucking stick. Like, I'm sure he blames himself for most of those too. Like, imagine waking up one day, seeing Scarecrow douse a random diner with fear toxins, and then hacking into the billboard saying this is only the beginning, so now the entire city's getting evacuated. And now all that fills the streets are a bunch of criminals doing random stuff like flipping cars. Like, did you get joy out of that? What was the purpose? And then all of a sudden, some guy calling himself the Arkham Knight pulls up with a weird obsession to Batman. At the start, we had no clue who this was, so I know Batman was just like, dude, who are you? Even later on, the entire city gets flooded with toxins. Like, he did all this in one night on a random Tuesday. Also, this wasn't a main mission, but it should have been. When Catwoman got kidnapped by the Riddler. Now, that was my main priority. Fuck whatever Scarecrow got going on. I have more important things to do. But speaking of her, one of the worst things is Batman's canon event. Meeting Catwoman, Selena Kyle. And it must work the same way it does in a Spider-Man movie. His canon event is to meet her and never get with her, or it's a one-night type thing, because if he goes any further than that, the universe is going to get unstable, going to start unraveling, and I promise if I was Batman, we're all dead. At the end of the Batman movie, when Selena said, yo, you should come with me, yes, immediately. I was hoping he was going to say that. Actually, I hid my suitcase around the corner. I'm ready. Gotham would have never seen me again. But yeah, that's all I got for now. Probably gonna do a part 2, so put some superheroes down in the comments.
Alright, chat. You already know what time it is. Desktop stream done with. But I'm about to hop on the game. We about to see some other shit. Stay tuned.
Hey, yo, Pluto. You going brazen?
Wow. Tell folks how I care for. I do. Let's believe if shit go bad, I'd hit it off my kinfolk. Nowadays on mainstream, still got folks I kill for. Say I'm stuck on Drake. Say I won't, but I still post. Who was power and he still post. I decided shit don't change, that's the shit that we live for. Follow the rules, but I still don't. I'm the reason they still hold. I'm the reason they still hold. Hey. Where I'm from, bitch, they still hope. Wonder how I'm finna die with all this shit I could live for. All these niggas fake, I wonder where all the real go. Finished burning bridges in the start, we was real close. Throwing out these pictures, all these memories feel broke. Shit, I guess I'm on my own. And now I can't stay with you, girl, I got some love at home. And bitch, my heart expensive, gotta break that shit with chrome. I'm a dog, I caught her throwing on my bones.
Best believe if shit go bad, I did it all for my kinfolk. Nowadays on mainstream, still got folks I kill for. Say I'm stuck on tracks. Say I won't, but I still broke. It was proud and he still broke. I decided shit on dreams, that's the shit that we live for. Follow the rules, but I still don't. I'm the reason they still hold. The reason they still hold. Granny living off whole like fucking 9 to 5. Told the bro hop on that flight. Where I'm from, bitch, they still hold. Granny living off whole like fucking 9 to 5. I told the bro hop on that flight, he rather go and slide. I know. Times I wanna hide, I don't. If I decide to cry, you gone. Boom, last thing you see was false. Shit go bad, it's for my folks. Last believe if shit go bad, and it was all for my kinfolk. Nowadays, the time to go, but I got folks I kill. Why the fuck would I won't die, and I got shit I can give.